Call the Senate Finance Committee to order. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second to go into executive session. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. We are in executive session. You were given a list of bills that are contained in the budget, that we have the House bills or not. You've got a column on there that says proposed action. I would like to delete all the ones that say delete. Well, I'm going to either let you talk first or I can take a motion first.
I will move to delete all of the 1670A, 166 to 167, 241, 301.
If we're going to go through them, can we have the motion to delete all the ones that say delete in the status column?
So moved.
Okay. Now, before we do anything, I want to give all of you the opportunity to remove anything from that motion that you want. Other than that, then we're going to vote on them all.
Well, Mr. Chair, I haven't reviewed all of these very quickly, but are we sure we want to delete the motor vehicle inspection one right now?
You've got the motor vehicle inspection one in the committee.
But are we sure we want to delete it, right? I guess we could always add it back if we wanted to, right?
It could be added back.
Okay.
Or you could have it removed from the list that we delete.
I'm just thinking about pending policy decisions and how we want to approach some of these.
That's what you guys are going to tell me. I mean, I'm trying to cut the budget down as much as I can.
I understand.
May I, Mr. Chairman?
Certainly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In answer to the good senator from Loudon's question, most of these already have a standalone bill that if for whatever reason we need during the negotiation, we can take those bills up. And I believe that most of these are already, they're either still in the committee or they're on the table. So, thank you.
And they can be added back to this list in House Bill 2.
Yep. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I don't necessarily want to do that, but. Any deletions from the list that are marked for deletion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. All the deleted ones go away. All right, not marked for deletion. You've got several bills in there. All right, I'm going to give you till the next meeting to go over those, and we will either individually or whatever, we will go through this list again and take care of those. There's also the list of Senate bills that are tabled. And I think that you all have probably just recently got some of the cost estimates on those. Those are ones that have an appropriation or for other reason are on there, okay? And we need to go down through that list to see if there's any that you want to include. I've been asked to include Senate Bill 128, which has to do with some particular funding where the insurance company is going to, in fact, let LBA talk about, because they were informing me of things I didn't realize when you were coming to brief me. Okay.
Well, so I think the question that you had earlier today, Senator, was whether it was revenue neutral. And my only comment is, so this is Senate Bill 128, which is relative to children's mental health services. And it would create an assessment on insurers to pay for children's behavioral health services. It doesn't really specify which services would be paid for, but HHS estimates that based on the last few years, it would be between $2 and $3 million per year. So that plus the administrative costs, which I think the insurance department had estimated at $175,000 per year, would be covered by the assessment created by this bill.
Okay, so that's the kind of analysis that I want done on those bills, so that you know what you're doing if you're voting for them or against them. So, again, I believe that list was sent out to you also today. So, Senator.
Thank you. There may be some bills on the table that we'll have amendments for that are in changed form,
Yeah.
but are not drafted yet.
Okay.
Yeah, could I have a paper copy of that list? I didn't print it out.
Well, since we don't have it today in front of us, we're not gonna worry about it too much today, but again, I'm trying to give you a preview of where we're going, because we need to get all this stuff done.
Yep.
And you do want to consider, those bills that are laid on the table. Those that have a significant appropriation, are less likely to get in my opinion, so. That's why 128, the Senate Bill 128 was one of those that I do want you to take a look at, because it is more or less revenue neutral.
Can I speak to that?
Absolutely.
So I know the insurance providers have been trying to get in touch with me. This is, I think, what was a priority need in HHS. And I believe it covers the wraparound program in DHHS. And what's been happening is there are individuals out there that have full health care coverage, but some of the services for the wraparound program are not being covered by the providers. Therefore, they're going under Medicaid. Yeah, Medicaid. So this was an attempt, it was a priority need in HHS. This was an attempt to make sure that the insurance, if they have full insurance coverage, that it's covered by wraparound. They cover the wraparound rather than going under Medicaid.
All right, so we will start that list next meeting, which I think is tomorrow. All right, you're gonna give us a brief on the packets. The packets are pretty much gonna be similar, day after day here, and I'll let you speak to what's in the packets. Give everybody some homework, or whomever.
So
Who got tagged? You got tagged? Okay.
I did.
All
So
right.
you'll see a packet on your desk. You should have Senate Finance Budget Work Session with today's date. This is what we'll call the recap sheet, so you'll get one of these for each day. And if you just open up to page number 1, you'll see there will be list of agency requests or requests that have come from a senator listed. On page 1, this is an agency request. If there's a corresponding amendment, that would be on the next page, and so on and so forth. So we will just go page by page, and you will vote on each request that's in each agency.
All right, so page number 1, we've got an agency request that, I guess it's right close to $150,000 total.
Correct, and if I may speak to that,
Absolutely.
it was not the intent in the House to get rid of the other funds, as those are 100% federal funds that are transferred from DOE. And Governor and Council actually approved a contract on March 26th, sending that money over to the Governor's Commission on Disability. So those funds should get added back.
Okay, so those are all federal funds?
Yep. And the general fund was funded in fiscal year 2024. The position was not filled until May 2nd this year, so just a week ago.
Okay, do I have a motion on this?
So,
Senator Waters, motion, Senator Rosenwald seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Moving on to page 2. All right, when there's 000 here,
So there's no additional requests, so it's as passed by the House.
so this does not have to be a formal vote nor a formal motion, but we need to tell them that right now we're fine with the way that things are, so the page doesn't come back to us in the
Exactly,
packet
so,
anymore.
yeah, so you deal with that agency and we can move forward.
All right. Any discussion? All those, Senator?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. These have 000, but I thought there was money that was being allocated from the legislative branch. Am I correct?
So there's a back of the budget cut
Right.
for 500,000 a year, but there was no request to delete that back of the budget cut. You can make that motion here if you would like to do that today.
Okay. All right.
So there's no change from the House budget in what we've been requested to do.
Okay.
And that, as he said, there is the legislature giving up would be $1 million over the biennium in their budget.
Mr. Chairman, can I make the request that even if there's going to be no change, that we get to see the amount? Is that something that you can do? So that way we know exactly what it is? Sorry, this is my first time in finance. I'm like, okay, because I knew what it was, but here it shows nothing, and you kind of get the idea that perhaps it's gone, or you're not going to do it, or how this reads. It was just maybe just to have an annotation what the cut was in the back of the budget.
Sure. We don't list them all out because in different agencies, there's multiple changes from the House, which is that giant compare report, and we'd have to dump it all in here. But if you would like us to just at least mention if there's a back of the budget cut on an agency, we could add that in. I think most agencies requested to restore their back of the budget, so when you get to those, you will see it on here. With
Okay.
this one in particular, we didn't get a request to restore it from the legislative branch or a senator, so that's why it shows 0.
Okay.
But we don't list the changes from the governor's budget to the House's budget within this document. It's only the amounts that were requested to be changed.
Okay.
So
Thank
this
you.
one's a little bit anomalous because no one did request a change to that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So does anyone have any addition, subtraction in this? Are you comfortable with this being taken out of the future reports? We're good to go. All right, moving on to page 3. Page 3, I don't know whether you guys want to talk to the governor's request or me or who.
So when he came in, he just said that they did not agree with the back of the budget cut to the governor's office, which was 50,000 per year. So they're requesting that that be given back.
Discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't think I need to reiterate that we know that this is a difficult budget. That's why you don't hear any complaints about the legislature being asked to give money. We're all sacrificing in this budget, and it's a little disappointing to see that they don't want to give we gave $1 million. They're just being asked to give $100,000. It's kind of hard to ask these agencies to not have this money, the money that they are depending on, some of them, for some of the things that they would like. And I think that we as the legislature has stepped up and have gone and have accepted the back of the budget cut to make this budget work. So it's
Senator
a little
Waters?
disappointing.
yeah, I, in general, think that a new governor, it's important to respect the executive branch's sense of what it needs and why. Though, on Senator Carson's comments, one might say that maybe it should be a reduction for all three branches, and that recognizes that we're doing good work and we know what's best for our work, and so maybe it should be one size fits all. If there's, but that's something for the president and perhaps the speaker to determine. But I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say, Mr. Chairman, is that I do think that we have to respect the governor's sense of how to operate her office, and that's you know. But if that's the sense for their office, maybe it should be the sense for the other branches too.
Senator Pearl.
Thank you. I think at this time, I'm inclined to agree with the Senate President that I don't think we want to really entertain getting rid of any of these back of the budget cuts. And if we find we have extra money to work with on the other end, then maybe we'll restore some of them. But my feeling at this point is everybody's kind of stuck with this. Nobody loves it. So
You have three options. You can accept it, you can deny it.
I'm going to make a
or you
motion to
can-
deny it.
You can do it, later. We have a motion to deny in a second. Further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Oh,
And we're 2, 4, 6. Okay. 5-1. To deny it. Next one, Executive Council. Pretty much
There was no change from the governor's budget to what the House passed, and no additional requests.
and their budget really consists of the statutory, salary that they get.
Exactly.
And the mileage, and so. Anyone want to make any changes? Seeing none, we're done with this one. Conservation Land Stewardship Program.
Yep, Mr. Chair, if you'll notice in the notation here that there will be a transfer of the Conservation Land Stewardship Program from Department of Administrative Services to Fish and Game, and there is an amendment being drafted, but that will be done in HB 2.
Okay. So, do I need to hold on to this one till the amendment comes in, or?
Nope, you can accept it as is, and then that amendment would be taken up with Fish and Game's budget.
Okay. Everybody comfortable accepting it as it is? Okay, moving on. All right, now we start to get into some that have amendments and et cetera, so I'll go back to you guys.
So the first request is the treasurer request and funding for an additional staff person. And I don't know, you guys should probably take a vote on each action here, I would suggest, rather than as a whole.
Was that part of her presentation?
Yes, it was, and it was not accepted by the House either.
Comments on number 1 on page 6? Senator?
Mr. Chairman, can I request a brief recess?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
the committee will be in recess for 5 minutes. I guess some of them got lost on the way back. Okay, we'll come out of recess. We're on page 6, top of the page. Item number 1, the request for the additional position.
Mr. Chair, I would move to deny request on number 1.
I'll second.
We have a request to deny. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Number 2 and the first number 3 kind of go together. Well, that's okay.
Mr. Chair, could we hold on both of those, number 2 and first number 3?
Yeah. I would like to have at least a small discussion.
That's fine.
Certainly, number 2, the amendment that I put in, the House bill capped the revenue sharing at the level it was last year. And we've heard different revenue projections that the revenue might come in lower. So what my bills did is say, if it comes in lower, you'll get your 30% of the lower number, but if it goes above that, then you will get the cap that the House put in. Senator Waters.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, I think we do need to have some more discussion around this. You know, those of us been in the Senate for a while know how long we've worked to try to get back to the 30%, and there was a reason for that. You know, it can go way back to 2009 with the pension changes and, you know, so on and so forth. And, you know, of course, we all hear about downshifting. We all hear about increased costs there. And I thought that the 30% in some ways meant that we recognized that, and that this was the one vehicle that if we stuck to it, if the economy grows, and obviously their costs are always growing in municipalities, so I would hope that, you know, if we can do it financially, that we figure out around how to preserve the 30%, but not make them take a haircut if the revenues grow. So that's the issue, I think.
Want Senator Rosenwald to talk next to her amendment, which is the first 3.
Well, just speaking of yours, would say that the meals and rentals tax is performing above, well, it's not blowing the doors off, but it's a few percentage points above goal. So.
But as we do this discussion, I would like you to summarize your amendment.
Yes, so my
so that we
amendment
can discuss them both at the same time.
deletes the House provision entirely so that we go back to distributing 30% of the rooms and meals or the meals and rentals tax to the municipalities in order to help mitigate against property tax increases. It's what I hear about most on the doors.
I understand that. I do, you know, looking at the projections of those 2, because they believe that the room and meals will come in above that, so that mine, only if it comes in below, would be different than the House. And yours, you know, they're projecting almost $9 million over the biennium that we would have to fund from something else that over the House projection. Again, that's the real concern here is, you know, finding another $9 million to be able to restore that.
Can I speak about the third amendment?
The third one is
a little different.
right. That's
because it's
different.
revenue sharing.
Yep.
And we have suspended it since time immemorial. The House tried to eliminate it. I think we should just suspend it again. There is no cost. Maybe someday in the future, we will be able to actually do revenue sharing. But this is just basically a word change from eliminate to suspend.
From the discussions that we've had, we'd like to hold 2 and the first number 3, for discussions later. And the second number 3, is there further discussion on that?
Would move to adopt the second number, amendment 2042.
To adopt it.
Okay, that's, the second number 3 is
an actual
the suspension
Yes,
of the revenue sharing. Further discussion? All right, so this is, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it. And we're on to page 10.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am?
I would ask that we defer 1 and and even the bill, because Senator Innes is not here to speak to his amendment. So if we can just hold that one until he's back.
All right. The
When we-
numbers, the maximum increase of 3 million.
Yes, I'm not sure what we're being asked to hold.
Page 10.
This is 10, basically, all of page 10.
10, not 7.
Yeah. 7,
Okay,
7 was the amendment for mine.
okay.
8 was the amendment for yours. And then 9 was the amendment to suspend.
Oh, so, if I may,
You may.
the first one is about the Community Development Loan Fund,
Yep.
and
They both are.
they both are,
They
Yeah.
both are.
right?
And Senator, I just requested, because Senator Innes is the person who's on the amendment, he's
Right.
not here today to speak
Got
to it, that we just
Thank
wait
you.
till he's here.
And his amendment is the same language as the bill that's laid on the table.
Okay.
And so you're talking that it could be as high as 3,700,000 and whatever thousand in reduction of revenue
Correct.
by raising the cap. Okay? All right. So now we're on to page 12. Is there anyone that wants to hold this one or suggest any changes? Senator Rosen?
I don't want to hold it, I'm fine with it, but I just want to say that, remember when a few years ago, they put pictures of all the projects in all of our Senate districts up in the tunnel? The one that was supposedly from my district was actually from District 12. They had a hard time finding one in District 13. They did finally find a tiny little one.
Okay, so noted. All right. So we're done with this sheet?
Yep.
All right. It can be removed from the packet. 14?
Good with it?
I missed 13? Oop, pages stuck together here. Page 13. Are we ready to have it removed from the packet? So be it. 14. Removed from the packet?
Yep.
Okay. And that's the last sheet I've got. All right, you guys got a lot of homework. The sheets have come out on the bills, et cetera, and I do want to start going through the ones that had no recommendation on these sheets. So you've got a lot of homework to do. We meet again tomorrow. Scheduled for 1. It may be just slightly delayed because we will probably be caucusing beforehand. So if I'm a little late in getting here, please excuse me. Anything else anybody wants to talk about today? LBA? All right, and you will get more sheets for tomorrow's meeting, so save a little time to be able to talk about those too. All right. We have a motion to come out of executive, have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Our business today being complete, we are adjourned.